Welcome to the first ever Govs Game Day. I'm Madalyn Stubblefield.
And I'm Isabella Christenson, and we are so excited to have y'all join us today, both on APSU-TV and WAPX-FM. Now, it's homecoming here at Austin Peay. We're right in front of the fort. We're right in front of the tailgate, and it's happening down here.
The electric out here, the atmosphere is electric out here. The food truck is going on. It smells great. I'm just so excited to be here and get things going. What about you, Isabella?
Yeah, I am, and we've got a lot for you guys today. We're going to see Madalyn chat with Coach Scotty Waldland from earlier this week. We're going to have ESPN Plus analyst Ethan Schmidt come in, give us some keys to the game, some players to watch, and then if you stick with us till the very end, we've got some very special guests coming in. So we're excited to get started.
Like we've said, it has definitely been an exciting day, but also an exciting week here in Stashfield. There's been so many activities going on. But you know who is excited? Coach Waldland. I got to talk with him earlier this week, and, you know, his electric is always there.
Always.
And I think we should just get into his thoughts.
Yeah, let's see it.
Coach, welcome to the first ever Govs Game Day. I'm so excited you're here. Let's just kind of talk about homecoming week and just get into game time. So we're coming off a tough, on your feet win against Southern Utah this Saturday. What are the emotions going into that?
Yeah, it was a crazy game. You know, excited to be back home for homecoming and all the festivities. But kind of going back to recapping last week, unbelievable performance by our guys. A big time double overtime victory. You know, these guys stayed in. You know, we flew across the country. We stayed in 2 different hotels, 2 different time zones. We practiced at a local high school there in Las Vegas, and it was just. It was an awesome experience, like with the guys. You know, the things that I think they'll remember. Yes, we'll remember the win, and we'll definitely remember, you know, just that amazing night. But I think we'll remember the trip too, and just like the time we spent together. And it kind of felt like a mini bowl trip, if you will. You know, it was really cool. So I think I just can't speak about this team's effort and heart and their determination. I was so impressed by their grit and you know, ability to overcome the adversities that were thrown at them. You know, I thought we played obviously really good at times, really bad at times, and you know, we were down 21 and, you know, found a way to come back and win that thing. But we were also down 3 different times in that game, and at any point, you know, I think a team that's less mentally tough, a team that you know, isn't focused on their job like our guys would have folded in those moments. And just kudos to our players and our coaching staff for, you know, fighting the fight, protecting our culture and our brand all the way through. And it took to 2 overtimes to get it done, but we got it done, and that's what matters.
I love that. So now let's get into the game. Yeah. What keys are going to be to take this victory on Saturday? You
know, we got to take care of the football, number one. Their defense is really, really good. They play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and so they're going to attack us, you know, more of an aggressive style, blitz, kind of in-your-face type style, and they're good at taking the football back. They've got some good defensive backs. They've got 8 interceptions on the year, and man, they're really sticky to routes. They cover well. They're well coached. It's a really good North Alabama football team. They're extremely athletic. One of the more athletic teams we played. So I think on offense, we're gonna have to take care of the football. On defense, we've got to eliminate the explosive plays. We have to eliminate explosives. They, you know, do a phenomenal job of getting their playmakers in space. And again, just like defense, they're extremely athletic on offense. Their quarterback, I respect the heck out of. He can run, he can throw. He was the conference player of the week last week. You know, they had a big win themselves against Utah Tech last week. They've got a receiver I think is one of the best in this league, number 5, Kennebrew, who is he's a senior. You know, he looks like a grown man out there. You know, he is. Yeah. He's. I'm not sure how old he is. You know, he might. You know, but I'm telling you that dude is a ball player. So we're gonna have our hands full. And I like the running back too. I think he runs physical. So we got to do a great job of being sound, taking away their explosives, and then on offense protecting the football.
Now, we talked about the keys, but now we have a lot of pressure on our plate. You're trying to get your 3rd conference win, but also get your 5-game winning streak. How are you going to handle that pressure? Just how are y'all taking that?
Well, we always say, you know, I think, you know, no matter what scenario you're in, if you think about it, whether you've won them all, you've lost them all, whatever, pressure is what you make of it. You know, like the only pressure that's inflicted is like the one you put on yourself. And so, like, I think that like pressure, anxiety, things like that, you know, in terms of the game of football, I think that comes when you don't prepare, you know. So I use the other P word when we talk about pressure. I talk about preparation. If you prepare and you know your opponent and you have put in, you know, with integrity, you can say, you know, I prepared this week and we prepared as a team. then there shouldn't be pressure. We need to go out and play, you know. And so we're not worried about, hey, this winning streak or, you know, hey, this third conference win. We really don't talk about those things. We just talk about being 1-0. And I know it sounds like really cliche and like you're probably like, okay, coach, but like that's literally what we talk about. And that's what we did in the second half of that Southern Utah game is we talked about, hey, I don't have a 21-point play in me. Like there's not no such thing, right? We got to focus on let's go win this play. Let's win the next play. Let's win this drive. Same thing this week. Let's win Tuesday. Let's win Wednesday. Let's win Thursday. And then when Saturday comes, let's win Wednesday or Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do a great job of just, you know, taking things bit by bit, process by process, and not worrying about all the outside stuff. And I think to your question, it's a great question because this time of year, you know, a lot of distractions come. You can talk about all these other things. Hey, what about this? What about that coming up? What about, you know, it's homecoming week. There's a lot of things going on. Like I told our guys, our job on homecoming is to win the game. That's our only job.
Yes.
And so we got to do a great job of keeping the main thing the main thing.
And that leads to my last question. With it being homecoming, you're going to have alumni coming back. You're going to have former players coming back. What do you want them to know going into this game at the end of the game?
I just want them. That's a phenomenal question. Thank you for asking it because you know, Austin Peay means the world to me, and wearing that Governor logo is special. And I just want them to come back and know that we are every day fighting to give them a product they can be proud of on and off the field. That's what I want those guys to know. You know, I had a privilege to speak to the Dupes group a few weeks ago, who was that you know, really core group of players back in the 70s that you know they fought to get scholarship football back. You know, these are guys that played back in the 70s, that in the 2000s when, you know, scholarship football went away, and then and people were fighting for it to come back. This group, you know, they were kind of the you know, the catalyst, if you will, to get that back. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for those men. And I told them that's why this place is special, because you have fighters, you know, fighters from back in the 60s, the 70s, guys. I mean, heck, when we went on that trip to Utah, we had, you know, two members, you know, Dave Phillips and Red Roberts from the 1960s, 1970s that went on that trip with us. That's how much they care about. And I let them speak to the team after practice, and our players are like, whoa, man, like, these guys played at Austin Peay 40, 50 years ago, and these dudes are still, Austin Peay football is bringing them together. So I'm excited. We talk about unity being the secret, the game of football bringing a great group of former players and alumni together. And we want to give them a Saturday they'll never forget and give them a product that they can be proud of.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Good luck on Saturday, and best of luck. You're going to do great.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. We've got more
Coach,
coming your way here on
first
Gov's
ever
Game
Gov's
Day
Game
with
Day.
APSU-TV and WAPX FM.
I'm from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Jackson, Tennessee.
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
St. Louis, Missouri.
From Gaffney, South Carolina. Seattle, Washington.
Jeremy, Haiti.
I'm from Três Pontas, Brazil.
Chicago, Illinois.
Hawaii.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Brazelton, Georgia.
From Modesto, California. I want to be a neonatal nurse.
An athletic trainer and accountant.
Playing the NFL.
Interior designer. Physical therapist.
Law enforcement officer.
Ultrasound technician.
Social worker.
Physician. Politician.
Psychologist.
CPA.
A social worker.
Nurse practitioner.
Physical therapist.
Restaurant owner.
A politician. Starting my own business.
Veterinarian.
Elementary school teacher.
NBA player.
Cardiovascular surgeon.
Anesthesiologist.
Businesswoman in Nashville.
Social worker in Miami, Florida.
Politician in Washington, D.C.
Colorado.
Orlando, Florida.
Houston, Texas.
In Chattanooga.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Seattle, Washington.
Nashville, Tennessee. San Diego, California.
Nashville, Tennessee.
New York City, New York.
San Diego, California.
Atlanta, Georgia. Nashville.
Los Angeles, California.
New York, New York.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Orlando, Florida.
Los Angeles, California.
Baltimore, Maryland. Clarksville, Tennessee.
Carolina Beach, Carolina.
Philadelphia.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Gov's Game Day. We are here with Ethan Schmidt. Ethan, how does it feel back to be at your alma mater?
Yeah, that's a very polite way to say that I'm an old guy coming back to talk to people. That's exactly what that means. But hey, I'm fired up to be here. I'm fired up to be a part of this first ever Gov's Game Day. This is what like alumni like to be able to come back and see their programs that they're a part of actually being able to have some success and do something new and something that's branching out. I love the fact that we're out here in front of the fort. We got a little bit of a crowd showing up now. We're getting a little bit of energy energy here. I love that. Madalyn Stubblefield greater than Pat McAfee. That's what I love to see. Those are the signs. That's what we love out here. We love to see this type of energy. Austin Peay football is doing fantastic, and they deserve this support. They deserve the support from this Clarksville community.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so glad you're here with us. You've got on the velvet red. He's got the boots on here.
Can't see those. It's okay.
Ready to go. And so are these players today. So let's get into those players to watch. Now we have Noah Walters. He's the quarterback out of Nebraska for North Alabama. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, the weather's different for certain for him, right? Nebraska to North Alabama. It's a little bit hotter in North Alabama. But Noah Walters, he has been fantastic for this team, right? Noah Walters, one of the things that he's really good at is he's good at throwing the ball, but he's also good at running the ball. So that's a great matchup for you when you're a coach trying to figure out how do we stop him, right? Over 1,700 passing yards on the season for this guy, 12 passing touchdowns. But he's coming off a co-UAC Offensive Player of the Week. So what that means is this guy was really good last week. That's exactly what it means in a very close contest. Over 180 yards passing, over 100 yards on the ground as well. This guy is a very, very talented player. He's tough to contain. So Austin Peay's defense, they're going to have to watch him to try to scramble. There's going to be a lot of design runs as well that we're going to see from him in this contest, because if he can get into space, he's going to make sure that he gets those 10, 20, 30 yards as a quarterback, and you're not always expecting that from a QB, but this guy can do it for certain.
But I think we certainly equally have Trey Goodman. He scored the winning touchdown to win the game last weekend. Give your thoughts about him.
Yeah, Trey Greatman is what we're going to change his name to, because he had an absolutely phenomenal game out in Utah. He may own Utah now. That might be his state. I don't know, but Trey Goodman, talk about a little bit about what he did in that contest, right? Down a touchdown, he comes out, a little trick play. Listen, I love trick plays. If there's one thing to get me fired up in any booth, it's a good trick play. Hook and ladder, whatever it is, you'll get me fired up in a contest if I see a good trick play. They run a little bit of a reverse pass. Trey Shackelford comes down it, ties this game up. But, I've played receiver, not good receiver, but I played receiver myself back in the day. Very small. They used me for blocking. That's the way that you do things, right? When you're a small guy, you block. Trey Goodman, he's a big guy. He can stretch the field. But you talk about the energy and the excitement this guy had catching a game-winning touchdown. That is a phenomenal feeling, and the way he did it was absolutely spectacular. His eyes had to be wide. He knew the play was coming to him. Beautiful little slant route, gets those hands right where they need to be, no one near him, pulling in that game winner. He dropped to his knees. Thank the Lord. That's what you do in moments like that. I loved every second of watching the end of that game and what Trey Goodman has meant so far to this program. They talk a lot about what Dre McCray was for Austin Peay, right? Dre's doing big things at Texas Tech, man. You watch ESPN, you see a lot of Dre still doing those things. Trey was right there with him last year. People forget that about Trey Goodman. He has the ability to stretch the field, and he can stay short and make plays as well, right? So Trey Goodman, he is an absolute Swiss Army knife for this offense. When you get him the ball, that's what you want to see from a guy like Trey Goodman. He does a fantastic job with it. So, yeah, he's my player to watch this game. If he gets open, boy howdy, you got to try to stop him.
We got a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you've got strong players, and both teams are looking strong on both sides of the ball. So you've got some keys to the game for them today. Now, for North Alabama, they've got to play all four quarters. They've got to come in with the momentum for the full thing.
Absolutely. So last week they were up by almost 20 points. They won by 1. It all came in the fourth quarter. 20 points scored against them in the fourth quarter just last game. That's like defensive coordinator. You think of those old cartoons where the heart's pumping like that. That's what's going on in your D coordinator's mind right there, is your heart's out there pumping like that, right? Austin Peay likes to win every quarter, right? Scotty Walden's told you that. I know that. He loves to win every quarter. So in the fourth quarter, if he can score 7 to 28 points or 35, like Scotty, if they score 1 in the fourth quarter, Scotty's going to be absolutely ecstatic. If they score 4 in the fourth quarter, Scotty's going to be even more ecstatic somehow. I don't know how that energy happens, but he does it, right? This team in Austin Peay, they will score in the second half. They'll score at all times. It's a very fast-scoring team. They want to move the ball on you. For North Alabama, you're going to have to figure out what can you do in the second half to try to slow these guys down.
Now on to Austin Peay. Of course, we're going to get the win, but we have to have some to talk about. First, it has to be a no-fly zone, and then we have to be strong in the secondary.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Scotty Walden talks about that, right?
Yes.
That's something that he talks about. That defense is absolutely fantastic in the secondary, right? We've seen that. But they gave up 338 passing yards in Utah. That's something that Scotty's not going to want to talk about. they played against Tennessee, right? Tennessee's nationally ranked. Only gave up 200 yards through the air, a little over 200 yards. 300 last week. Scotty's not happy about that. This defense isn't happy about that. I tell you this much, Cedarius Doss is not happy about that. Corey Chapman's not happy about that. They're about to put this team on their back. They're going to make sure that this is a no-fly zone. You're going to see a little bit of the celebrations today. You're going to see a little bit of the fire today from that secondary. I'm fired up to see what these guys do because they do take it personally. Any defensive back, they want to make sure that you know that you're not catching on them. I want to see what they do here today. But, yeah, they got to be able to control that receiver group. You got a good quarterback and good receivers as well.
Now, what is your score prediction for this game?
He's got the
Hey,
outfit
here
on.
we go.
I'm
A
gonna
little bit of
guess
history for you
Stubbs,
guys,
but,
right? When I was a student here in 2012, I called the last home victory. I called the last victory here at Austin Peay for a while. It was a
that
little bit of a
old
long
man
time,
here with
guys.
us.
It was a long time where we had a little bit, and I was still calling games, and I was like, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Since I've been back, only one loss in the fort, and that team's now in FBS school, all right?
So it's you.
It's not
The
me, it's
lucky
Barry
charm.
Gresham. Wherever Barry Gresham is, that's who the guy is. He's our good luck charm, but I'll tell you this much. I love what I'm seeing from this group. Even when we weren't, great, I was still screaming, let's go Peay at the top of my lungs, letting people know I was an Austin Peay grad. It's even cooler to do it now when we're actually being out there. We won the ASUN last year. Right now, knock on some wood, we're at the top of the UAC. I want to see that as well. We got to continue this, what we have going on. But I'm going to tell you right now, what is the motto for this football team?
Chase the lion.
Chase the lion. If you go to North Alabama, real story here, they have a live lion on their campus. If we were at North Alabama, I will tell you right now, Scotty'd be running around that entrapment trying to chase the lion, right? They got a bunch of lions that are going to be over across the field from them. I'm going to tell you right now, Austin Peay 45, North Alabama 21. That's generous. That's generous to North Alabama.
I like that.
If it's 14, if it's 7, if it's a goose egg, I'm going to love it even more, all right? So I think Austin Peay comes out today. They make a statement. They put everybody else in the UAC on notice. You don't want to come to the fort, and you don't want to play the Govs no matter what day of the week it is. We want to beat you.
All right, Ethan, thanks so much for joining us. If y'all stick around on ESPN Plus, you will see and hear more from him in the red velvet over here. As of now, hang with us. We've got more coming your way and have some special guests when we get back. We'll be right back here on APSU-TV and WAPX FM.
Thank you so much, Ethan.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back. It's almost nearing game time, and I can hardly wait. But one thing I'm excited for is our special guest, the Dean of College and Arts and Letters, Dean Hoon, and Department of Communications Chair, Dr. Barron. Guys, welcome to the first ever Govs Game Day.
Wow.
How does it feel to have this moment?
It's awesome.
I think
this is a great experience for everybody. Yeah,
Well,
that people in the tailgate area love it.
They do. Well, and Dean, Hoon, I thank you publicly for suggesting this event. I think this is a great atmosphere. It's great to be here. It's great to celebrate game day. It's great to celebrate homecoming here at Austin Peay. So thank you. Thank you for suggesting this. Thank you for supporting this. We in the department greatly appreciate you as our dean.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, we also have alumni and current students working together, as well as ESPN Plus, WAPX FM, and APSU-TV. How does it feel to have this moment for you?
Well, I'm a very proud dean right now. So I think this is, you know, since we came here, we wanted to make sure to provide experience for you guys so you get the feel for what it's going to be like when you're out into the world. And this is a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. As an alumni, I'm excited. How do you feel about all your students being here? I know we've all been messing with you all day, making your radio debut again.
It's been crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's the joke. I was on radio for two whole weeks as a college student myself back at the University of Minnesota. I did 1 week as a news broadcaster, 1 week as a DJ, and I said, that's enough. I don't need to do this anymore. So, but here I am 20 years later back doing radio. So I guess that's the joke on, I guess more than 20 years. I guess that's a joke on 19-year-old Dr. Barron. So.
You think you'll always find your way back home and just stick to radio?
Probably not. Probably not. I think that ship has sailed, but you know, here I am anyway.
All right, so take this in. This might be the last time everybody that
Yes.
hears Dr.
Every
Barron.
minute
So
of his
I'm not gonna do it
voice.
again.
Yes, it is a good radio voice, but I don't do radio very often. So.
Yeah. Lots happening here today at Austin Peay, and there's also some other things going on in UAC football today. So let's do some predictions. Let's get into these other games, do the hot takes. So first, we're going to look at Abilene Christian, who is 4-3, and they are taking on Southern Utah, who Austin Peay smashed last week at 2-5. Now, who do y'all got for this game?
Just hold up your
cards. I'm going to go with Abilene Christian. You know, I'm going to go with the record. I just think, you know, obviously a 4-3 team probably beats them, and after what Austin Peay did to Southern Utah last week, I think that's just the way it's going to continue to go.
Oh, Rob, you are so wrong.
Oh, am I?
I agree.
Yes, I think it's going to be Southern Utah.
I
agree.
Okay. And I think that they showed that really one of the best games against Austin Peay that they've had to deal with in the last few weeks. So I think I was impressed by their team and their home. So.
I think they definitely have something to prove this game. It's either, if they don't win this one, then I think they're gonna lose their momentum and not bounce back from it. So.
But they've got this one. The next one we'll get into is Tarleton State, who you've got at 5-3, and they're going to take on Central Arkansas, who is 5-2. So
Who's your
if
pick?
you're basing off record here.
This pick is easy. Central Arkansas has the might of Dude Person on their team, player Dude Person. So I'm going to have to pick Central Arkansas just for the fact that they have Dude Person. I don't know how Dude Person's going to do when he comes here to the fort, but at least this week it'll help Central Arkansas.
How did you get Dude Person?
How did I get Dude Person? Have you not heard about Dude Person?
No.
Dude Person, he was a college student this year, brand new student. His name's Dude Person.
Okay.
That's his actual
And
name?
So
That is
because of
his
the
actual name.
Is
Well-
why the relevancy there.
And to stay against you, I'm going to go with Tarleton State because there's a good chance that you'll be wrong and I'll be right. So,
that's
and
fair.
I know somebody that works there. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
going to
there
say
you go.
that.
There we go.
Right. Well, now we have our next game. It's Eastern Kentucky against Utah Tech. What's your pick?
Well, I am not a sports broadcaster, so I will probably defer to the dean in this one since that is his background. But because he just said that he picked the last school because someone's worked there, I know someone that works at Eastern Kentucky, so I will go with Eastern Kentucky. So just to stir the pot.
Should I? No, I'm going to definitely go against you again. I don't know a thing about Utah Tech other than you didn't pick them.
No,
So they have to be.
At 2-5, they are strong.
They're due. I think that should be something that is considered. So,
I think I'm seeing a trend here.
What we'll find out this week is who's the better sports picker, I think, by the end of this week. So I think that will be the case. So this will be something we can talk about in our next meeting when we sit down and talk about all the college things and who's the better football picker. So
You gonna bet some days off, or what are you gonna put anything on the line on there?
Well, I might be the boss of the department. This is the big boss of the college.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
he could be in trouble if he's right.
If you find a new chair in the department next week, you'll understand why.
Well, last but absolutely not least, the reason that we're all here today, the Governors in North Alabama. Give me your thoughts. Give me your score predictions. Madalyn, let's start with you. Let's get your thoughts on this one.
Obviously, we know the Govs are going to win, and I think it's going to be a blowout out here. My prediction is 45-14. These Govs are just excited. As we've seen all day from Scotty Walden, the Govs are going to win, and it's going to be 45-14, guys.
I like that.
Okay, solid pick.
Oh, I don't get into scores. I'm just going to say Govs by a million today. Govs by a million. We'll go with that.
That's a new slogan.
There we go. Govs by a million.
Well, I hate to agree with you, but if I had a Govs head that I could put on, I would definitely put it on right now and say definitely the Governors big today. So.
You got a score prediction for us, or are we just going Govs by a million?
I like
as
the
well?
45-14, but I'm going to say 35-10. How's that?
Okay, solid. Yeah, I'm coming in with the Governors, of course, at 35-14 as well. So the Governors are looking hot. They're strong. They're on a 5-game win streak. I mean, Scotty's ready. Scotty's always ready. So they're ready to come out and go. But this has been so much fun. Do you guys have anything that you want to say to the students, the alumni here?
Hey, only one thing you can say. Let's go Peay.
Let's go
Absolutely.
Peay.
Let's go Peay.
Yeah, this has been a blast for all of us. If you're sticking around on WAPX-FM, you will have Madalyn on your sideline. You will hear the voice of Aaron King and Reese Britt. And then if you are checking us out on ESPN+, I will be down there on the sideline. You will have Ethan Schmidt, who you saw earlier, and then the man, the myth, Barry Gresham, will be with us. And that's all we have for you today. As always, let's go Peay!